Here is a 1,500-word video script in English based on the given topic, outline, and requirements. I buried the pain alive. I moved on with my life, but it's still there, that moment that silently broke me. And the worst part? I learned to smile over it. The memory haunts me. It creeps up when I least expect it. In quiet moments, I feel its weight, heavy, suffocating. But I've become an expert at hiding it. I tell myself I'm fine, that I've moved past it. But deep down, I know it's a lie. A lie I've started to believe. I'm not enough. I deserved what happened. I'm weak. These aren't truths. They're wounds speaking loudly, echoing in my mind, shaping how I see myself. But here's the thing. I am not what happened to me. It happened to me, but it isn't me. I am not the abandonment, not the mistake, not the fall. I'm what comes after. Yet something holds me back. I can't quite put my finger on it, but it's like a part of me is still trapped in that day, in that pain, in those words that cut deep. I've built walls, thick, impenetrable walls. I've become harder, colder, more distant. But this isn't strength. It's survival. A desperate attempt to never feel that vulnerable again. But what if there's another way? What if I could look at the pain differently? Not to forget it. Not to forgive those who hurt me. But to see it through new eyes. To transform this prison into a bridge. I don't need justice. I need peace. I can wait for apologies that may never come. Or I can free myself, even without them. To reframe is to say goodbye to the expectation that the past will somehow fix itself. The pain can teach me if I let it. I can ask why me, or I can ask, what is this trying to show me? The key lies in that second question. It opens doors I never knew existed. When I stop running, something shifts. The pain stops chasing when I stop fleeing from it. It doesn't disappear, but it changes form. It becomes lighter. More mine. A part of my story, not my whole identity. I won't forget, but I can rebuild. The memory will stay. But now it will remind me of who I've become, not of what I lost. This journey of reframing isn't easy. It's messy, uncomfortable. Sometimes it feels like I'm taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back. But with each small shift in perspective, I feel a little freer. I look in the mirror now. I see the scars, yes, but I also see strength, resilience. A person who has weathered storms and is still standing, still breathing, still hoping. There are days when the old thoughts creep back in, when I doubt my worth, when the pain feels fresh all over again. But now I have tools. I have a new lens to look through. I breathe deeply. I remind myself, this moment does not define me. I am more than my worst experiences. I am a work in progress, always evolving, always growing. I reach out to others now. I share my story, not for pity, but for connection. To remind myself and others that we're not alone in our pain, that there's strength in vulnerability. Slowly, I'm learning to trust again, to open my heart, even though it's scary. Because a life lived in fear is no life at all. I'd rather risk being hurt than never truly living. I forgive myself now. For the times I blamed myself, for the years I spent hiding, for believing I wasn't worthy of love or happiness. Self-compassion becomes my new armor. I look for beauty in small moments, a sunset, a child's laughter, the first sip of coffee in the morning. These tiny joys remind me that life is still good, despite the pain I've endured. I set boundaries now. I honor my needs. I say no when I need to. I surround myself with people who lift me up, who see my worth. I distance myself from those who drain me or remind me of past hurts. I write. I paint. I dance. I express the emotions I've kept bottled up for so long. It's messy and raw, but it's healing. With each stroke of the brush, each word on the page, I reclaim pieces of myself. I seek help when I need it. Therapy, support groups, trusted friends. I realize now that asking for help isn't weakness, it's courage. It's an act of self-love. I practice gratitude. Even on the hardest days, I find something to be thankful for. It shifts my focus from what I've lost to what I still have. From lack to abundance. I set new goals. I dream bigger dreams. I refuse to let my past dictate my future. Each small accomplishment is a victory over the pain that once held me captive. I learn to sit with uncomfortable emotions, to feel them fully without judgment. I no longer numb myself with distractions or unhealthy habits. I face the discomfort head on, knowing it will pass. I rewrite the narrative of my life. I am no longer the victim of my story. I am the hero, the survivor, the one who chose to rise again and again, no matter how many times life knocked me down. I practice self-care religiously now, not as a luxury, but as a necessity. I nourish my body, my mind, my soul. I treat myself with the kindness I'd show a dear friend. I look for the lessons in every experience, even the painful ones, especially the painful ones. I ask myself, how has this made me stronger, wiser, more compassionate? I celebrate my progress no matter how small. Every day I choose to keep going is a victory. Every moment I choose love over fear is a triumph. I remind myself that healing isn't linear. There are good days and bad days, but even on the bad days, I'm still moving forward, still growing, still becoming. I practice mindfulness. I ground myself in the present moment. The past can't hurt me here. The future hasn't happened yet. All I have is now, and I choose to make the most of it. I surround myself with inspiration, books, podcasts, people who have overcome similar struggles. Their stories remind me that transformation is possible, that I'm not alone in this journey. I give myself permission to be happy, to laugh, to love, to live fully. I realize now that joy is not a betrayal of my past pain, but a testament to my resilience. I reframe my self-talk. Instead of "I'm broken," I say, "I'm healing." Instead of "I'm weak," I say, "I'm strong enough to face this." Words have power, and I choose mine carefully now. I practice forgiveness, not for others, but for myself. I forgive the part of me that believed the lies, that internalized the hurt, that stayed small to stay safe. I embrace that wounded part with love. I look for ways to turn my pain into purpose, to use my experiences to help others, to create meaning from the madness. It doesn't erase what happened, but it gives it new significance. I remind myself daily, I am worthy, I am enough, I am deserving of love, happiness, and peace. Not because of what I've done or what's happened to me, but simply because I exist. I choose to see my scars as proof of my strength, not signs of my weakness. They tell a story of survival, of resilience, of a spirit that refused to be broken. I embrace the unknown. The future is no longer something to fear, but something to look forward to. Each day is a new opportunity to rewrite my story, to choose a different path. I stand tall now. I speak my truth. I own my experiences without shame. They are part of me, but they do not define me. I am so much more than my worst moments. I breathe deeply. I feel the ground beneath my feet. I am here. I am now. I am alive. And in this moment, that is enough. More than enough. It's everything. This journey of reframing isn't over. It's a lifelong process. But with each step, each breath, each moment of awareness, I'm creating a new reality. One where my past informs me but doesn't control me. Where pain coexists with joy. Where I am the author of my own story. And in this story, I choose hope. I choose growth. I choose life. In all its messy, beautiful, imperfect glory. Because I can reframe everything, even the pain that once paralyzed me. And in doing so, I set myself free. Here is a 1,500-word video script in English based on the given topic, outline, and requirements. I buried the pain alive. I thought I could just move on, but it's still there. That moment that silently broke me. The worst part? I learned to smile over it. there's a lie I started to believe. I'm not enough. I deserved what happened. I'm weak. These aren't truths. They're old wounds speaking loudly. What happened to me isn't who I am. The abandonment, the mistake, the fall, they happened to me, but they don't define me. I am what comes after. Something's holding me back. I can't put my finger on it. But it's like a part of me is still trapped in that day, that pain, those words. I've grown harder, colder, more distant. But that's not strength. It's just survival. Reframing isn't about forgetting. It's not about forgiving those who hurt me. It's seeing the pain through new eyes, turning prison into a bridge. I don't need justice. I need peace. I can wait for apologies, or I can free myself without them. Reframing means saying goodbye to the hope that the past will somehow fix itself. Pain can teach me, if I let it. I can ask, why me? Or I can ask, what was this trying to show me? The key is in that second question. When I stop running, something shifts. The pain stops chasing me when I stop fleeing from it. It doesn't disappear, but it changes shape, gets lighter, becomes more mine. I won't forget. I'll rebuild. The memory will stay, but now it will remind me of who I've become, not what I lost. I used to think healing meant erasing the past, like I could just press delete and start over. But that's not how it works. The scars are still there. They've just faded. Some days I catch a glimpse of my reflection and barely recognize myself. Who is this person staring back at me? The eyes look older, wiser maybe. But there's something else there too. A quiet strength I didn't have before. I remember the exact moment everything changed. It wasn't some grand epiphany, no lightning bolt from the sky, just a quiet realization one ordinary Tuesday afternoon. I was folding laundry, of all things, and suddenly I knew. I couldn't keep living this way. The pain had become my constant companion, always there whispering in my ear, reminding me of everything I'd lost, everything I thought I'd never be. But in that moment, I saw it for what it really was, not a life sentence, just a chapter. I started small, baby steps. I couldn't change the past, but I could change how I carried it. So I stopped hiding the broken pieces, started looking at them in the light. Some days it felt impossible, like trying to climb a mountain with no end in sight. But slowly, something shifted. The weight I'd been carrying for so long, it didn't exactly get lighter. But I got stronger. I learned to stand up straighter under it, to breathe deeper, to keep moving forward, even when it felt like I was wading through quicksand. There were setbacks, days when the old pain came roaring back, threatening to swallow me whole. But I'd tasted freedom now. I knew what was possible, so I kept going, one foot in front of the other. I started to notice the little things, the warmth of sunlight on my face, the sound of laughter drifting through an open window, the first sip of coffee in the morning. Life had been happening all around me, and I'd been too wrapped up in my pain to see it. Slowly, I began to let people in again. Not everyone, not all at once, but I cracked open the door I'd slammed shut so long ago. It was terrifying. What if they hurt me too? What if I wasn't strong enough to handle it? But here's the thing about healing. It doesn't happen in isolation. We need each other. We need to be seen, to be heard, to know we're not alone in our struggles. So I took the risk. I shared my story. Not the sanitized version I'd been telling for years. The real, messy, complicated truth. And you know what? The world didn't end. People didn't run away screaming. They leaned in. They listened. They shared their own stories of pain and resilience. I realized something profound. My pain wasn't just mine. It was part of the human experience. By hiding it away, I'd been cutting myself off from connection, from growth, from the very thing that could help me heal. There are still hard days, moments when the old doubts creep in, when I catch myself slipping back into old patterns. But now I have tools. I have perspective. I have a community of people who understand. I've learned to be gentle with myself, to treat myself with the same compassion I'd offer a friend, to recognize that healing isn't linear. It's a winding path with plenty of detours and unexpected turns. I've also learned to celebrate the small victories. The first time I laughed without feeling guilty. The day I woke up and didn't immediately think about what happened. The moment I realized I could talk about my past without feeling like I was being crushed under the weight of it. These aren't earth-shattering moments. They won't make headlines or change the world, but they've changed my world. They've shown me that I'm stronger than I ever imagined. I used to think my pain defined me, that it was the most interesting thing about me. But now I see it differently. It's just one part of my story. An important part, sure, but not the whole story. I'm more than what happened to me. I'm the resilience that got me through it, the wisdom I've gained from it, the empathy it's given me for others who are struggling. I'm the friendships I've formed, the dreams I'm pursuing, the life I'm building, one day at a time. Reframing my pain hasn't made it disappear, but it's given it new meaning. It's no longer a weight dragging me down. It's become a foundation I can build upon. I look at old photos sometimes, the person I was before, and yes, there's a pang of sadness for everything that was lost. But there's something else too, a deep appreciation for how far I've come, for the person I've become because of, not in spite of, my struggles. If you're in the midst of your own pain right now, I want you to know something. This isn't the end of your story. It's just a chapter, a difficult, painful chapter, but one that doesn't have to define the rest of your life. You have the power to reframe your pain, to look at it with new eyes, to find meaning in it, to use it as fuel for growth and transformation. It won't be easy. There will be days when it feels impossible, when you want to give up and retreat back into the familiar darkness. But I promise you, it's worth it. The freedom on the other side is worth every ounce of effort. Start small. Be patient with yourself. Celebrate every tiny step forward. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. Reach out, share your story, let others in. You are so much stronger than you know. Your pain does not define you. It's simply part of the journey that's shaping you into the incredible person you're meant to be. So take a deep breath. Stand up a little straighter. Look your pain in the eye and say, I see you. I acknowledge you. But you don't control me anymore. You have the power to rewrite your story, to turn your pain into purpose, to create a life filled with joy, connection, and meaning. It starts with a single step, a decision to see things differently, to believe in the possibility of healing, of growth, of transformation.